The Nelson Mandela Foundation has appointed Mbongiseni Buthelezi as the foundation's new CEO. The academic and activist has been with the foundation for many years and will be taking his position as CEO on the 1st of October. Sowetan Deputy Editor Thabiso Takadi spoke to Buthelezi on civil society's role on social justice, keeping the state accountable, and plugging the poverty gap in South Africa.
I actually started working with the foundation way back, probably about 15 years ago now. Civil society formations, I think, are critical. And I'll come to the Nelson Mandela Foundation in that configuration. In South Africa, of course, they fill capacity gaps where the state cannot reach, or where the state has failed to do what it is meant to do. And so there are certain formations, for example, that fill the gap in healthcare, in social services, in education, etc. The foundation's role does not stay the same at all times. At certain moments, it will lean into working with people in political power, working with people inside state institutions to do something constructive when the spaces are being created, when there's openness. If we get to a place where people who are leading the state are being destructive, stop being able to hear what society is saying, it's the role of the foundation. It's a role Madiba, I think, gave this foundation to say, you'll be the voice that calls out injustice, that calls for change.
He says one of the challenges faced by civil society is being delegitimized by powerful voices in the political space.
The foundation has done some admirable things in the past. It became quite vocal alongside other organizations about the extent of corruption in the country, the kinds of questions that certain people in the state, and the most vocal of whom I should say has been Minister Mandela, asking this question: who are you as civil society? Who elected you? Who funds you? Trying to delegitimize the attempts by civil society to call people in the state to account. The accountability question goes hand in hand for me with helping to build the state.
Buthelezi says one of the issues behind poverty and inequality is the country's education system.
There's something wrong in the capability of the state. If in the first 30 years of democracy, the state has not been able to lead in a coherent way, in developing a coherent response to how we bring people out of poverty. And part of the problem there, I think, lies in our education system. A kid who goes to school in a rural school in northern Limpopo is not guaranteed that they're going to be able to get into university, build a career, and be able to get their family out of poverty. Populists will always find an opportunity, particularly when we are talking about the levels of poverty and inequality.
Looking ahead, Buthelezi says in order to have greater impact, civil society groups will have to work collectively.
I think there's work being done that is tied. And the foundation, in fact, the Mandela Initiative in the past was one of those initiatives that tried to intervene in that space of thinking about what to do about inequality. Where I think we can go and we can do better is, I do think civil society more broadly can achieve much bigger impact working more collectively.